If I asked you to map out your neighborhood, you'd probably draw the roads, the lakes, maybe the buildings. But what if I told you the most important map of one Danish town is, well, currently being drawn by two 11-year-old boys trying to stop a bulldozer?
It's just such a great story.
Welcome to this deep dive. You sent us this fascinating stack of local ecological reports and citizen science articles today. And our mission is to explore how these two kids, Kesser and Steen, set out to map wild orchids and accidentally uncovered a massive local environmental crisis.
Yeah, it really highlights a strange blind spot we all have. I mean, Denmark actually has over 35 species of wild orchids, yet people rarely notice them.
Wait, over 35? That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And the boys were operating on this brilliant theory, basically giving nature a name gives it an identity, and, identity is the first step toward protection.
Okay, let's unpack this, because initially they were just trying to create an orchid route for hikers and cyclists, right?
Right, exactly. Just a fun local project.
But while digging through local botanical records, they found that a rare species, the broad-leaved Helleborine, was growing right in the middle of a planned housing development zone.
Which is incredibly convenient for the developers to ignore.
Yeah, it's like a botanical tree falling in the woods scenario.
Yeah.
If citizens aren't told about the rare nature in their own backyard, a developer can just quietly erase it without any public outcry.
And what's fascinating here is the deliberate strategy of omission. By keeping citizens in the dark about the natural ecology, developers and authorities just avoid friction.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. If nobody knows the orchid is there, nobody protests when the concrete gets poured over it.
Right. So knowing that developers were eyeing these zones, the boys realized they needed to map other vulnerable areas fast. Let's hear about Kesser and Steen's adventures next, because they headed into the woods near the local stream to hunt for another early blooming orchid.
And that did not go as planned.
No, it didn't. Instead of finding a beautiful flower, they stumbled onto a total ecological nightmare, a stream that literally smelled like sewage and death.
Yeah, the smell is overwhelming. Steen actually took it upon himself to investigate this gray, ghostly layer they saw coating the bottom of this normally crystal clear stream.
Oh, wow.
He Googled it and identified a liglogin. That translates to a corpse sheet.
A corpse sheet, good Lord.
Yeah, it's made of sulfur bacteria. It only forms during severe oxygen depletion.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. These bacteria act like desperate biological bouncers working overtime at a failing nightclub, just trying to keep the toxic elements from ruining the whole neighborhood.
That is the perfect way to picture the mechanism at work, honestly. When the oxygen runs out at the bottom of the stream, these bacteria survive by breaking down organic matter using sulfur instead.
Right.
And that process produces hydrogen sulfide, which is a highly toxic, awful-smelling gas. So the corpse sheet is the ecosystem's biological last defense.
It catches the gas.
Yes. It oxidizes that toxic gas, converting it into harmless sulfur before it can bubble up into the water column and suffocate the larger fish.
Okay, wait, let me make sure I have this straight. Because we still have the news regarding the stinking water samples. The smell was so bad that citizens complained, right?
Yeah, people noticed the stench.
And the municipality came out to take water samples, and they blamed the smell on old, inadequate sewage pipes.
That was their official stance, yeah.
But the kids realized the actual issue was grown adults in camper vans pulling up and emptying their portable toilets directly into the street gutters.
It's wild.
Gutters that drain straight into the local woods.
Yeah, it raises a huge question about how institutions choose to handle uncomfortable truths. By only testing the immediate water samples and offering this convenient half-truth about infrastructure, the municipality could just look the other way.
Right. They completely ignored the human behavior destroying the ecosystem. It is genuinely wild to me. You have adults actively turning the local water into a toxic dumping ground. And meanwhile, these kids are out there doing meticulous, rigorous science.
Right. They're taking digital soil temperature measurements to prove exactly why this specific nutrient-rich soil is a sanctuary for orchids like the common Twayblade.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the contrast is just staggering.
It really is. You have institutional neglect and careless pollution from the very adults in charge, countered by citizen science driven by genuine curiosity from two 11-year-olds.
Yeah, they're the only ones actually analyzing the systems at play.
Giving this environment the attention it desperately needs to survive.
Absolutely. So what does this all mean for you in your own backyard? The clash between citizen science and institutional neglect isn't just happening in Denmark.
No, it's everywhere.
It really makes you wonder, what endangered species or toxic biological corpse sheets might be hiding right now in your own neighborhood, just waiting for someone curious enough to finally give them a name. If I asked you to map out your neighborhood, you'd probably draw the roads, the lakes, maybe the buildings.